Welcome to a Play and Explain. Ace King versus Big Blind. This is just a range bet. King High board. Such a dry texture. Playing 25 NL. Here are my results so far. I think in these pools, people are super nitty. I think the win rate of like 15 to 20 is definitely achievable because everybody's just so imbalanced. Very nitty. I think the default game plan is just to overfold versus them. They aren't like finding the proper amount of bluffs. Wow. This guy got quads. Queen 8. I think this is I think if I was one pip earlier or later, I think that's an open. Ace 8 off. It's just a fold. It's a weird 3-bet from the big blind because of reg too. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe it's like a exploit, like 3-bet. He thinks that he's getting like folds, because he is kind of nitty perceived. But it's probably just a misclick though. Queen Jack is not fun. People definitely on the big blind bet too linearly instead of polar. So in theory, I think Queen Jack is still a fold, but in theory, you definitely fold more. Let's see if I could get some interesting spots. Queen 8. I don't think this is a fun. This guy's kind of weird though. This is like a reg, but also a recreational. He does some weird shit like he calls like in low jack, and no reg ever does that. So I had it tagged as like a recreational, but it kind of has like reggy stats, but I don't know. Just like a reg fish, I guess. I don't have my RNG here. This Jack 5 is sometimes a 3-bet bluff from the big blind. This one. We're gonna do it anyways, fuck it. The video. And also, people 4-bet too linearly too. I think to win in this pool, you kind of just have to take um their lines of face value. They play very face up. So King 10-10 is a range bet. This one I could call. Insta check. No, that's a mistake. On this board, I'm gonna play half pot or check. Definitely can check here, especially with the ace of diamonds. because I'm more protected on this board with the ace of diamonds because he has less flush draws. But versus a recreational, I think betting this hand always is fine. I'm assuming this is a recreational. But yeah, I think that in this pool, if they're strong, they're very strong, like in their strong lines, and if they're weak, they're very weak. So they play very face up, and there's not a lot of tricky players in this pool, I think. And you kind of just have to fold to aggression and bet when they're very weak. Jack 10 suited is open. There we go. This one actually, ace king eights, under the gun. If I was in later positions, I would polarize a lot more. But this just hits my range so much that I could just range bet 33%. Would be 40 or whatever size you want to use. Here, the 8 is pretty bad because he has a lot of 8x versus 1/3. He could have like 8, 9, 7, 8 that floats. So I think I'm going to check this one. Now, is this a good candidate to... I messed up here, I should range bet. I think it is. He's a okay candidate to B75 here. So I'm going to. I'm gonna get called a lot by ace X, but yeah. I mean, this guy's like really nitty. I don't think I could like go for it, to be honest. Here, one big blind. I'm just gonna raise. I don't know what this guy's doing. The one big blind bet is like never nutted. So I mean, this hand. It's hard to get overfolds here, especially versus this guy because he's very nutty. He could have king X. Like I'm just basically targeting king X. Like even his floats like queen jack, I block. So I think that this river bet was kind of troll, in my opinion. Here we're gonna squeeze. Here ace 3 suited. I think I want to be polar in the spot. So I'm gonna check. B75. Call, obviously. This guy's a recreational. So. Here, I think I can even go for value, to be honest. I think recreationals perceive these like double flush draw boards to be overbluffed. So I'm gonna do something like this, and then they could call with like queen or jack or something. Queen deuce. That's unfortunate. Yeah, this hand. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Like I think his B75 on the turn could be very mergy, especially coming from recreationals. But he could definitely call like a queen or a jack here if he thinks I'm gonna bluff with flush draws, even though in theory I'm not supposed to. Here, ace jack. Could definitely 4-bet. So I'm gonna do that on 100. Stalling. 968, definitely not the best board ever. He could have eights or nines. So I'm definitely gonna check a lot on this board. He could even have 8-9 too. Even though in theory I don't think that that's like a thing. Here, do I want to turn my hand into a bluff? I think I want a little more equity to be able to turn my hand into a bluff. So I'm just gonna check again. I'm still beating hands like King Queen or like Queen Jack. So this doesn't make a lot of sense. On a 4, he just thinks I'm like super capped when I check twice. But I don't think I can call or like do anything with this hand. I just kind of lose on this board, unfortunately. Here, ace 9-7. I played pretty polar. So I'm gonna check this one. No reason to bet that hand on the flop. Here, this guy's like 100% full to 3-bet, so I'm gonna just 3-bet him with ace 10 off. Here, oh, straight. It's like the worst jack in the deck. Jesus Christ. It's like running into it or what? Do I want to bet this hand? It's definitely worth like 4 big blinds or something. He could decide to call with like ace, like 2 pairs, something like this. It's unfortunate. I'm okay with like value owning myself here, especially versus recreational, because I think he could call a lot wider than just a flush. And it's a straight, you know, like definitely beating a lot of stuff. I'm running pretty bad this session, unfortunately, but what can you do? Here, like this guy's like so weird, like he just calls from this position for some reason. But he's like kind of nitty like posts, so he's like pretty nitty and sticky. So I'm praying for him. So I think this guy just likes to come along for the ride. Ace 9 is threshold in this position. Ace is pure open. Totally gonna 3-bet this guy. Ace king off. This guy's like 100% full 3-bet. Obviously a small sample, but it's operational. Here, ace queen off is pure. Well, I could call this sometimes, I think. I'm not going to. We are not listening to the RNG gods. Probably like 20% calls. Interesting. I'm just gonna fold. It's definitely a thing in theory. Like, I think he's supposed to jam like nines or 10. Like, I can't remember. But he's supposed to jam like ace king sometimes and like some tens or something. I'd have to look at it later in those positions. But I obviously can't call ace queen off. I think he's just getting tired of me for betting him, for three betting him. Here, Jack, Jack 5. We are going to bet. This isn't a range bet. I don't think. Here versus insta call. I think I could definitely barrel one more time, especially on a brick turn. Blocking queen jack, jack 10. So go pretty polar. I don't think he has a lot of queen X. I think a lot of his range is just pocket pairs. So I'm gonna go for like a half pot bet. Maybe get a call from like a pocket pair. He's pretty capped as played. Say suited. Open on the button. Yeah, this guy calls me small blind. I could definitely be 75 here. I don't think I want to do it with these suits though. With hearts, I would. Spades, obviously, I would. So I'm just gonna check this hand. Here, I'm just gonna check again. No reason to turn my hand into a bluff. I still beat some of his value, or some of his hands not value. And if he decides to barrel, I think I'm gonna call. Here, I'm just gonna check. At least we got aces. Let's see if we got action with aces. I haven't had action with aces in a while. What's happening? Nobody squeezes? What is this? Hmm. Just gonna definitely bet here. I think in these pools, it's better to put the money in yourself because I think post people are super nitty. Queen 10 suited is sometimes a three bets. I forgot to roll for it. Queen's like definitely the worst card in the deck. I'm gonna check. Here, I have a gutter. I'm just gonna overbet here. I hit the straight. We're gonna go be 75. Here, if this guy bets again, it's very hard for him to find the correct amount of bluffs. Question is if he's betting value, like he's betting worse. I'm not sure if he is. This David Dunny guy is like very mini. So, man, it's a really tough fold to make. Can he bet tens like this? I don't think so. It's either like 5-6 or like Queen X. I don't think he bet tens or eights and nines like this. And it's also half pot. I'm just gonna fold. People normally don't bluff with half pot. Like it's really hard to find the proper amount of bluffs there. Really, really hard. Especially because I have Queen X in range. I don't think most regs are bluffing that spot like ever. But yeah. Man, aces have been killing me today. It's really hard for me to play and explain my thought process at the same time. I think I'm more of like an intuitive player. Like I think I could get the right um I think I can make a right play, but not fully explain why it's like the correct play usually. It's very hard for me to explain my thought process like very clearly. Here, ace king off. This is a pure 3-bet. There we go, like 19. Calls. Definitely can just be 20 range on this board. He shouldn't have fives or fours. He definitely does have ace queen though, and king queen, but we're blocking both of them, so it's definitely an okay hand to bet. Here, we could definitely better check. I'm just gonna bet again. He definitely does have like queen jack, but and ace queen. Nice. But this guy's like kind of sticky, so. And I think in a 4-bet pot, like ace king is okay to bet there. I don't think I was at the bottom of my range. No, I think I am the bottom of my range in like a 4-bet pot there. Yeah. I think like ace king is like the worst hand I could really have. So I think it's definitely okay to bet there, especially with the gutter. But let's see if it gets in my hands. Let's see how we're doing for the session. I think I'm down like almost 2 buy-ins if I had to guess. Yeah, almost 2 buy-ins. What can you do? Raise ace queen suited. Here we're going to b33 with top top. I don't think this is a range bet. Really fast. Call. Hand can't be that good, so I'm just going to bet again. Top top. King jack suited, under the gun. He can't have ace king. I think recreationals definitely overbluff this spot. He definitely has like hands like queen jack or queen 10. But or jack 10. Well, I think that Rex overbluffed this spot just because of the missed flush draw. And the yeah, he can't really have ace king. So I'm just gonna call this one. If he has it, he has it. Wow. He called all the way with jacks. That's unfortunate. If this was a reg, obviously I'm folding. But he decided to call 2 streets with jacks, so not much you could do there, and hits like the 2 outer on the river, so running pretty bad. It's kind of whatever. Here I'm definitely just gonna bet again. Fold threes. Queen 10 suited, 3 bet. Queen 10 off. I think it's an okay open. Here, this one, I'm gonna play the spot polar with a gutter. Double gutter, actually. So I'm gonna overbet. In that spot, I actually like to mix it up. I think that if I want to get called, I go b75. Maybe I'm giving out too much, but if I want to get called, I go b75. And if I want them to fold, I go B125. But I'm not sure if that's even like if people actually overfold to B125. I think it's like easier to defend, to be honest. Because if you go B125, it's like, well, I just call it like top pair, right? But if you go B75, it's like, do I call with like second pair? I'm not sure, you know. So I'm still trying to figure out like a strategy on that board. But I think I'm pretty sure B125 is like easier to defend. But that's 30 minutes. Thanks for watching.